hand it to Craig to say a few things about how we started this.
Okay. And we do record these, so we have a record of our love for the clouds. I just want to make sure you know that. And this is an initiative that came out of the Conscious Leadership Guild during the COVID pandemic. We felt like spreading more love in the world would be a good idea. And so we gather once a month live to do this together in community. But we also have our website, lovehour.net. I'll post a link to that has loving kindness meditations in multiple languages. And so you can listen to a loving kindness meditation in Chinese or Dutch or German. And I found it really fun to listen to the ones in the language that I don't speak. But this is really about just putting loving energy out into the world. And the meditations that have been recorded are pretty much all your classic loving kindness meditations. And Mayrod, and I think William might have had something to do with this, said, hey, there are other faith traditions that offer love and have practices around love. And so this is the first in a series of meditations from other faith traditions. And we're starting this off with William Miller, who's going to something from the Christian tradition. So I'm going to turn it over to William.
Oh, well, welcome everybody. It's a joy to be with you today. And when jump straight in, first of all, my wife and I spent about 16 years living in a multi-faith ashram in India from 2000 to 2016. And part of that time there was to delve back into the Christian tradition that we were raised in and perhaps discover something new that we hadn't seen in the depth of that tradition. And I want to take you on a brief tour and then share with you a time for two distinct kind of meditations that come from the tradition. Now, obviously, it's pretty easy to know Jesus's emphasis on love, because when he was asked, what's the most important commandment? What's the greatest? He said, love God, love your neighbor. Continued on with just love one another as I've loved you. And when we look at what kind of love he's really talking about, you can look at Jesus's life and say, well, first of all, it's unconditional or changeless love. For example, when he said, love your enemy, and show that you are children of God, children of the Father, who makes the sun shine on the just and the unjust, and the rain fall on the good and the bad. And notice also that we were the children of the Father, he meant that we have the very DNA of God, that we are also divine in that level. And John the Apostle went further to say God is love. And he who lives in love lives in God, and God lives in that person. And when you think about that God is love, that means if we experience that kind of love that Jesus is talking about, we are experiencing our God nature. We have that direct experience of divinity when we have that depth of love. And that's part of what the meditations are to bring out, is that sense of our sharing that divine nature. Augustine, one of the earliest theologians, said that, God's nature is love. And Jesus even said, I'm in the Father. If you understand what I'm talking about here, I'm in the Father and you're in me and I'm in you. That we share in this nature together. It's not something outside of us. And it also goes to where we learn that presence of God, that love nature of God fills the entire universe. You go to Paul says that God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit. And go back to the Old Testament to the Song of Solomon. And he says that the Spirit of the Lord fills the entire world. And even in the 20th century, you may have known Teilhard de Chardin, who was a Jesuit paleontologist, evolutionist, Christian mystic, and so on, who said that love is the most universal, powerful, and mysterious of the cosmic forces. and that God's presence permeates everything. It's the divine at the heart of the universe on fire. So with that introduction, I'd like to introduce you to two forms of meditation that had their earliest roots from the Desert Fathers in the 1st and 2nd centuries, got refined in the 13th and 14th centuries a lot with both the Eastern and the Western churches at that time. And even in the 21st century is taking some other shapes. But in a sense, the two forms, one is meditation is attention, that you use something to pay attention to and have that as the meditation focus. And the other is meditations of intention, where you're not necessarily, you're paying more to being in the presence rather than a particular focus that other way. So first of all, I'm going to lead you through maybe 6 or 7 minutes of the prayer of the heart. And in this, it's a matter of sitting back, relaxing into your body, and breathing in and out through the heart itself. But in that, as you breathe in, you can use whatever meditative words you would like to do as you focus your attention that way. I like to use love flows in. And the exhale is that love flows to all. So I invite you to take just your own way of settling in. And begin to feel just the breathing into your heart and exhaling through the heart itself as well. And just feel the breath flowing in and back out. And as we know that love permeates the entire world, it nourishes us with every love flows in. And we express that love, a gift to all, as love flows out. You can customize these words as you wish. Just begin to focus that love flowing in, love flowing to all. And I'll leave you in silence for about the next 5 or 6 minutes. And if your intention strays, just gently bring it back. The love flow in and out. Love flow in, love flow out. take a moment and just let that settle into your heart. The next step is to take it a deeper level. The Pirkei Avot from the Jewish tradition says that the truth that can be spoken is not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is wordless, the silence within the silence. And in that measure, this meditation today is called the centering prayer. It's originated back in the 13th century through the cloud of unknowing, mystic teaching. And in that, it's simply to be with the intention of dwelling, you can call it in God's presence, just dwelling in love, and taking it one step even further, knowing ourselves as love. It's really love abiding in love, or love dwelling in love, just to hold the intention of being love, dwelling in love. And if your mind wanders, you can use a word. It can be love, it can be Christ, it can be source, it can be any word that simply brings you back to your center. But then let that word even drift away. So that you can experience that whatever the word love or God is pointing to that's beyond words. Just be in the intention of living in that space. And find a word that can bring you back to center. If your mind wanders somewhere, it's okay. Just gently bring it back. And then let the word go and just be in that intention. Now begin to bring your attention back into this room where you're sitting. Slowly feel your body and your breathing. And in this last meditation, remember that the words, even love dwelling in love, are simply roadsides pointing the way to an experience that's beyond words, beyond understanding, where love is the most universal, powerful, and mysterious force. And know that with both of these meditations, you can drop into them even for 10 seconds in a moment throughout the day. whether you're on a beach or in the middle of a meeting. They're available to you at any moment. And with that, when you're ready to open your eyes, welcome back to the room.
Thank you, William. It's a lovely way to start a Sunday, or for those in Europe, to end one. I will put in the chat a link to the lovehour.net website. Please spread the word. If you'd like to share this event and this initiative on LinkedIn, Instagram, we're not afraid of social media. Lord knows I could use a little more love for people who are love scrolling instead of doom scrolling. Wouldn't that be neat? And if you would like more information on the Conscious Leadership Guild, we've placed that as well. So we have a couple of minutes and a soft close. So I will stop the recording now. And if anyone would like to ask William a question or ask Mayrod or I a question or just share a comment, please feel free to come off mute and do that. But we are officially closed. Thank you for joining us. Stick around for the meeting after the meeting, as they say in 12-step.